Gentlemen, what is up? My brothers from another mother. Get these questions that are coming up now that I've sold my M3 and I'm shopping around, and it's coming in private messages on Instagram and Facebook and in the comments of YouTube. And people are asking me, why didn't you just go get a 135 and tune it, or a 335 and tune it, and just be happy with that? They go, the comment that stood out was somebody said, the 335 guys swear that when you tune a 335, it's just as good as an M3 or an M4. Okay, let's talk about that. Many of you obviously don't know this, but about 70% of the components in an M-specific car over the standard series are completely different. You already know the engines are different, the brakes are different, the wheels are different, the suspension's completely different. It's all aluminum on an M car. The drive shafts, everything is completely changed almost, that affects performance on an M-specific car. Even the body panels. I believe only the door skins on the new M4 are shared with the 435 series. The roof, the hood, the front bumper, the front fenders, the rear, the back, the deck lid, all that stuff are completely unique and specific to that M car. So it gives it a very different look. It doesn't matter for many people that aren't petrol heads, because they don't see the difference between, like a 435 and an M4, for example, or a 335 and an M3. They don't notice the difference. Women don't especially, but true petrol heads can see the difference between an M-specific car and a standard series. And it goes beyond that. The seating, the steering wheel, the M steering wheels have a big, thick, leather-wrapped steering wheel with cross-stitching in the M colors, and the gauge cluster. Really, the only things that are shared between the two series cars would be things like sun visors, buttons for, opening up your garage door, the HVAC, things like that, the floor mats, the carpeting, stuff like that. M cars are very, very, very specific in what they're designed to do. They're designed to be very, very good at a lot of things, including speed, handling, tracking, and braking. Let me put it in perspective for you this way. Let's say you've got twins, two little girls. One of them goes off to a run-of-the-mill family, is born and is adopted, and the other one, again, they're genetically identical, DNA is the same, and the other one goes off to a much better off family that raises the child better. The child goes through a better schooling system, goes through extracurriculars, and gets into dance and gymnastics and swimming, and as she gets older, into fitness and taking care of her body and her mind, and she's exposed to great people and entrepreneurs and professionals and things like that. That's really the difference between a regular series BMW and an M-specific BMW. It's just that much better. If you were to see those two girls at maybe the age of 25, one of them is just run-of-the-mill, kind of like the Walmart sort of people, and then the other one is this high-end, considerably better. Even though they're genetically identical at birth, they go through this massaging process that makes the outcome that much better. You're going to choose the hot smoking one that came from the better family and was exposed to better elements and components of life, simply because they are that much better. That is the difference between an M car and a 3 Series. An M car is the hot twin that was exposed to a great life, has a smoking body, and has her brain together and is funny, versus the run-of-the-mill Walmart family. I'm sorry that I got to distill it that way, and I know some of the regular, BMW fanboys are going to get upset about it, but a 135 is not the same as a 1M. A 335 is not the same as an M3. A 435 with a tune is not the same as an M4. They're just not. You will get identical straight line acceleration, probably even better, in a tune 335 versus a V8 powered M3, for example. Actually, let's talk about the base or the entry-level M cars. So a 1M or an M2, for example, the 1M was a limited production car. I'm still shocked that they hold their value at around $65,000 here in Canada, but it's a parts bin car, okay? It has a suspension, brakes, wheels, set up basically out of an M3 competition package. The M2 has the M4 suspension, but the engine in the car is not M-specific. M-specific cars have an S-code engine. The S65 4-liter V8 out of my M3, my last car, is specific to that car and that car only, okay? The engine codes for the run-of-the-mill BMWs start with an N. I don't know what the N stands for. Let's call it normal or whatever, and S is sport, I don't know. But the engine components are completely different in an S-powered BMW versus a N-powered BMW. So the M2, for example, it doesn't have an S-code engine. It doesn't have the engine out of the M4 detuned. It has a N-code engine, which lacks the full motorsport treatment. It does have it's kind of like a halfway, it's like a hybrid. You know, these entry-level M cars are kind of like a easy transition into an M car. It's a good starting point for somebody that wants to get into an M car but can't afford, you know, maybe the higher price point. So BMW developed these to allow you to get into an M car at a lower price point. So the only thing that the N-coated engine out of the M2 takes from the M4 or borrows it are mostly all of the cooling components, so transmission cooler, oil cooler, power steering, all of that stuff. The radiator is all M specific, but the engine block itself, the N-coated block, is basically the straight 6 that you can buy out of a 435 or the M235i, for example. I believe it uses the piston rings and cylinders or connecting rods maybe out of the M4, but that's it. That's where the similarity ends. Okay, the rest of the engine is just N specific out of the standard BMW lineup. I hope that clarifies it for you guys. In my opinion, I think that the M cars are worth the money. If you can't afford it, you can get pretty close to the feel that you would get out of an M car with a tuned 135 or a tuned 335, but you're not going to have your braking, your suspension, and the other components up to par like you would with an M car. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video and what you would choose. If you think I'm right or I'm wrong, let me know. Of course, browse the channel. There's tons of good stuff there. And subscribe to the first video. Talk to you guys later. Peace.